Learn.
I'll be like, you see this one? This one's red.
This one, a lighter red.
I know.
And you'll be like, oh God, Professor, what was that one again? I was paying attention. I'll be like, oh man, I don't remember.
You see, it was green.
Already.
It looks like green to me.
Purple, I think.
It's like magenta, right?
I think it's cyan.
Color math.
Talking about colors.
What happens if you mix green?
What is cyan?
Blue and yellow.
Good question.
Cyan is light blue.
Oh, I mean, like, what do you combine to get cyan?
Cyan is like cyan.
Yeah.
Well, if you're talking about light, you combine dark blue with green to get cyan.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Because it's like a printer color.
I was thinking, yeah, like RGB.
Printers are different because printers have cyan, yellow, magenta as the primary colors.
Oh shit! Make this guy a host. Oh my god.
Color.
It is weird to me that English has one word that encompasses such a large range of colors that's just blue.
Yeah.
Like light blue and dark blue are very different colors, but we call them the same thing.
But there's also like a huge range of blue colors. Like blue and purple, I think, are like the biggest color range.
What about gray?
Colors.
Yeah,
like gray with an A or gray with an E?
we can tell the difference between red, orange, and yellow, even though like red, orange, and yellow are a pretty small portion of the color wheel overall.
You know that brown doesn't exist? It's all
brown
an
is
optical illusion.
Dark
What are you trying to say, Grant?
I'm trying to say that if you stare at like a light background and then look at orange, it looks orange. But if you look at a dark background and look at orange, it looks brown.
That's because brown is.
Wait, but that doesn't
orange.
mean that brown doesn't
ask
exist.
questions.
I'm confused.
Brown of your mind.
Brown definitely exists. That's because brown is.
Wait, but that doesn't
Fun fact: in Vietnamese, we have like blue and green are like the same word.
Yeah.
And like you just have to specify like you mean like sun of the sky or sun of the leaf.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sun.
Yeah. So like
Yeah,
there's even more of a blurring there. The colors and stuff.
Bro, are colors real? Are they just social constructs?
Yeah, dude, they're not real.
Man.
But like
pink is also a weird color. Like pink is light red, but pink for people. Pink is also like light actual pink and also light orange.
Mm-hmm. Wait, light orange?
Yeah, like you can show people a peach color and they'll think it's pink. Some people.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah. But then like there's an actual pink that's like magenta pink.
Yeah, that's like between red and
which
purple.
is pink, but like when it's also light pink and it's also light red and it's also light orange.
Yeah.
This has something to do with it, but but between like human races, there's like just as much genetic diversity within a race as there is between races.
Really?
Yeah, so like the concepts of like Irish or Hispanic or whatever, they're like based on location and like skin tone sometimes, depending on like how close you are to the equator. But like we really just like took the entire hue of the human race and just went like, these guys are white, these guys are black. So it's probably a similar thing to colors.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
Is that how it works? I did not know that.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, there was only one color, and all colors sprang forth.
In the beginning, we were at 1 bit, and then we went.
64.
True gamer stuff.
Should we send another thing in the workshops?
Go for it.
But that's why I'm asking. I don't know if I want to.
No, like go for it. Yeah. Maybe I should have sent the reminder like literally at the time of. Now, right?
But not this one. And until the next black, blue, then interested in the question.
I'm missing out.
And we all be muted in the cabbages.
Is this being recorded or like streamed or something? Oh, nice.
Oh, we're live?
Oh shoot.
Oh God. Oh.
Gotta watch
Oh,
I'll
it.
be
Alex, you should've
muting
let me know.
myself.
We're not allowed to say bad words, right?
Ah.
Oh shoot, darn.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Can we
Get
get this
out.
guy out of
Get out.
here?
I'm banned. I'm sorry.
No longer an EGaDS officer or member. Right
Get out.
here?
For all you have.
I just
banned.
Bruh.
love cussing so much. I just sorry.
No
I have
longer
a
an
problem.
EGaDS officer or member.
I've been
now.
on patches for the
For all
last
you
few
have.
I just
Banned.
Bruh.
love cussing
Wait,
so
what did I
much.
miss? I was gone for like a minute, and now this is intervention for Jake.
Nothing important.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Because I'm not important. Cry.
Kinda can't accept that.
Oh.
Okay. Let me share my screen. And you will all see this.
Yep.
Okay.
Whoa, that's so high quality.
So I like just remember like right now that we had slides, but it's okay. They weren't that long. And they're basically, we're gonna cover color wheel, color psychology, different palettes, example work, the process that I take to choose colors and shade, and then I'm going to draw. So we're gonna start with the color wheel, something we are all very familiar with.
Whoa, that's so good.
As in, we were just talking about it. This is our favorite little guy. And obviously the color wheel is like this abstract collection of information that we kind of made for ourselves. There's like probably an infinitely you can like cut this up to get more and more precise shades of colors. But for now, we're just gonna have these guys. When you choose colors, if this is your goal, then you'll want to choose a kind of color harmony, meaning choosing colors that will interact with each other the way that you want them to. And if you want them to be like getting along with each other, and then you can convey that type of feeling in your drawing. And if you don't want them to get along with each other, you can do that too. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is, well, I have like this blank here. Complementary colors. They are colors in which you choose one color and you choose the color directly opposite to it on the color wheel. And you can choose these especially when you want a type of dynamism in your drawing, having them clash but also go together. Red and green, you can see this in Christmas decorations, Christmas tree with bulbs, in a rose, things like that. You can see this pink and this lime green in Splatoon. You can see this blue and orange go together like fire and water or sand on a seashore. So here's a little guy that's showing red and green. He's a little bit faded out. That's okay. I'm still using red and green. I thought the faded colors would look nicer together because he's round. He's very soft. He's here to have a nice little time. And after complementary, we have analogous colors, which are probably 3, maybe 4 colors that are right next to each other on the color wheel. So they can be these 2 greens and a blue, or this green and these 2 yellowies, or these 3, any 3 that are right next to each other. And they go together really well if you want to have like one central mood that are right you're drawing. And we'll talk about they go together what really well colors you choose, like what kind of feeling or message they can convey. So, and here's an analogous friend. Another analogous friend from this palette is, of course, our little buddy Bulbasaur. That's not Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur is not green. Never mind. This is a... But you can see planet Earth right here. It's analogous. And we also have triadic, which are colors that are equal distance away from each other. You choose 3 of them, and they give you like 3 different angles to look at your drawing, right? They don't give precedence to one or the other. They all mesh cohesively together if that's what you want. And here's a guy with those colors that I chose. And for a brief second, we're going to talk about the big guys, the primary colors. These guys are so powerful in any type of marketing or branding. You're gonna find one of these guys in there. And if you want to, oh, I can't see the chat. But it's there. If someone has a question, do you think you could tell me? Someone, Alex. Yeah, so these are the most powerful colors out of the color wheel. If you're going to have a drawing, your eye will most likely be drawn to one of these colors, especially if they're surrounded by secondary or even tertiary colors, if that's what you want. And you can imagine like how often they show up in the rest of the world. Most food chains, major brands will incorporate one of these colors somewhere in their logo. McDonald's, green, no, not green, yellow and red. Oops. Walmart, and also the Mickey Mouse trio. Here's Mickey, Donald, and I actually don't remember what Goofy looks like. Here they are. They use all 3 of these primary colors in their design, and that's not coincidence. They want to draw in the eye as the main characters, as the 3 pals, Mouseketeers that get things done. And for like a short side note, you can also see these colors like very prevalently in like boys' toys, like, you know, toys catered towards boys. They're going to use a lot of primary colors. They're to catch your eye. They show like taking charge, being the center of attention, and basically being important. If you're gonna like watch a TV show, the main character will probably be one of these colors. Most of the time, yellow gets tossed to the side in favor of blue and red. And it's also not a mistake that most things that bump heads with each other will be blue and red. There's, you know, the political spectrum, but also like, you know, red versus blue, or fire versus water. I think that's where it stems from, actually. And yellow is kind of most of the time tossed to the side, but still very important. Okay, now we're going to talk about color psychology. Here's red, and there's a lot more words that are associated with these colors, but these are some of the main ones. Red is excitement, strength, love, energy. It could also be power and maybe destruction or blood. You can think of Knuckles. No, that's Sonic. Hold on. Knuckles. He's powerful. And the other echidna, I forget her name, like Tiki or something. There's her too. Orange. It conveys confidence, success, bravery, and sociability, but it can also convey, like, I don't know, probably some sort of way of being obnoxious. My very first thought was Naruto. He's out there. He's, you know, at least in the beginning, like very, you know, down to prove himself. And orange stands out. There's yellow, very happy, creative, warmth and cheer. That's Pikachu. Also SpongeBob. Most of these characters that are yellow are cheerful, in a good mood, and ready to help you and be your friend. Green is nature, healing, freshness, and quality. It can also be like greed and envy, like in Fullmetal Alchemist. And nature part obviously comes from plants, and you can see that in pretty much any, not any, maybe most grass type Pokemon. For blue, we have trust, peace, loyalty, and confidence. It also stands for intelligence. I didn't put this here, but it's also not a coincidence that most tech companies will have a blue logo. That's just the feeling that it conveys to you. You look at it and you're like, I can trust this company. They're very intelligent, tech savvy. They're gonna have my back to do what I want them to do. It's very rare to see major brands and companies not choose like a primary color or one of these colors. But when they do, personally, I kind of like it because it's letting my eyes rest. But, you know, we have pink. Pink is for compassion, sincerity. I spelled sophistication wrong, but that and sweetness. It also gives like a sort of femininity, at least only recently in our society in which we live in. It's most often given to like the love interest character or like princess or like the soft little thing that you want to love, like Kirby. Purple is for royalty, luxury, spirituality, and ambition. I did have an example for this, but I totally forgot it. But I can imagine, you can imagine, plenty of characters that fit into this subcategory. Brown is dependable, rugged, trustworthy, and I don't know about simple, but the website told me simple. First thought, our best guy, Brock. Black is formality, drama, sophistication, and security, mostly no nonsense type of characters and scenarios. And white is the opposite, clean, simple, innocent, and honest. So those are most of the colors that exist. I'm sure there's other like complex intricacies within there. And for palettes, I usually go to Coolers, Color Lovers, and also sometimes Google Images. So we're gonna take a quick look at each of those. Oops, not that. I can't, there we go. So Color Lovers is a really simple website where you can go on and you can just sit and go through so many palettes that this computer generates for you. And find one that you like. I think you have to sign in to save it, but if you're just like looking for a palette for your drawing at the moment, you could just take a screenshot. And a lot of these follow like the analogous colors, the like, two opposite colors on either end, complementary, things like that. And I also like to go on Color Lovers, which is a delightful website. I go to palettes and then most loved, and these are the most popular palettes on there. I think they are fantastic color combinations that you can look at them and just be like, man, that's what I want right there. You can just sit and browse through them. There are literally so many, and you don't even have to think about what colors you want to choose. You could just go through and be like, that one looks really nice. You can go for that if you want to take a little mental shortcut. And finally, another good method of finding a color palette that works for you is actually Googling pictures of nature. So mountains. So what humans consider to be beautiful is like a really weird and jiggly definition. But I think most of it comes from like a very biological innate appreciation for the natural world. So you can look up pictures of mountains, forests, beaches, whatever, and you find a good one, and that is your palette right there. So you can like go to, how about let's take out aesthetic, just give me mountains. You just take a picture, bring it into your Photoshop file, take a color picker, and that's your palette right there. We have these oranges, this white with a little bit of black down here, and maybe some pale blue as well. And if you find a nice picture, then that's, like I said, that's your palette right there. This nice crystal clear blue with the green and the more blue. This is more like a cyan. And lastly, you could also study artists that you like. You could look at their artwork, see what kind of color combinations they chose. No one owns a color palette, so as long as you're not like directly plagiarizing their work, tracing it and whatever, I think it's perfectly fine to use the palette that they use as well. Okay, this is a little example image I drew for Cabbagetober when I was not behind. And this incorporates all the processes that I'm going to talk about. So first I have
Are you
A
shooting
flat.
at artwork shot?
A flat color, which is just blocking out the colors of my actual drawing. There's no opacity. It's just straight. Next are, can you guys still hear me, by the way?
Yeah, we can.
Cool, cool. Next is the hard shade of where you want the shadows to go. Again, there's no opacity changing. It's all 100%. And you shape out the places where you want to shade. Next are the hue shifts. I don't know if I've mentioned this already, but this is just how I shade. There's plenty of wonderful and beautiful ways to shade, but this is the only way I know how. The hue shift involves going back to the original base colors and adding a very, very soft brush to places where I think are appropriate. So like extruding limbs, cheek would be, I don't know if this sounds weird, but a lot of blood. And also locking the hard shadows and adding a similar hue shift there too. I would generally put the darker shade closer to where darker shadows would be, if that makes sense. Fourth is adding shiny stuff. I like adding shiny stuff. I didn't add a whole lot of shiny stuff to Pikachu here because it's a relatively simple drawing, but that's when I do it. I also sometimes do the hue shift stuff with the lighter parts as well. And finally is fading and blurring parts where I think is appropriate. So I use the blur tool right here on the shadow on the ear and a very soft eraser brush on the ends of this shadow. And what that does is create a sort of sense of depth to your drawing. The further away the shadow is from its from the item that's casting the shadow, the more undefined the edge will be. So this ear is, I'd say, a good distance away from the head and the other ear, so the shadow will be very undefined, while the little joint where the ear meets the head would be sharper than the smooth like ear and cheek. Does anyone have any questions so far? Okay. Well, that is my process. I won't.
This might be a good time to stop in case anybody has questions.
Yeah. Let me go through the chat I missed real quick.
Yeah, so if any of you guys have questions about choosing colors, palettes, shading, Terry can probably answer this now.
I'm pretty sure the association with colors to emotions is very much a cultural thing. This is a very like Western centric view of the colors, but like colors change depending on like who's looking at them, right? Black cats in other parts of the world are good luck. In Vietnam, the bride doesn't wear white to symbolize purity. On her wedding day, she wears red to symbolize luck and good fortune. So there's very different ways and you can interpret colors and what they're meant to show. In a very similar way, there's like this really interesting study about like a haunting tune, you know, like a creepy melody in which Western audience would think this belongs in a horror film. But in other parts of the world, they listen to it and they say, this is a beautiful lullaby that someone would listen to fall asleep. So depending on what kind of people are going to see your work and what kind of person you are, the definition of what colors mean what can very much change. Yeah. Yeah, no problem. Okay, so house shading, and thank you, Nada. I'm going to go into that right now. So screen is back up. I'm gonna shade and color something I drew the other day. Here's a sketch, and here's the line, and here's a reference. As you can see from the reference, I'm probably gonna take colors from this as well. And also just personally, I really love using printer colors, yellow, magenta, cyan in my art. It's just a personal preference. So let me take that out. And when I color, I don't know why, but it won't let me add a new layer. Why isn't it? That's so strange. All right, I'm gonna do something hacky. These are my color layers now. What I usually do is I actually put each color on a different layer. I don't know how clean that is, especially when you're starting to draw even bigger pieces of work, like, you know, those really fancy, like professional artists kind of stuff. But at least for me, it's been working out okay. So for this layer, it's going to be my cyan. That's buy-in. This is my cyan layer. And I'm going to decide that I want the pants to be cyan. What I do is that I take the magic wand tool and I select everything that borders the pants. And then I click inverse so that I'll be able to simply color in the pants. That's not cyan. I'm gonna steal these colors. What this does is that it saves you a lot of time if you usually like color by hand or like block out what you're coloring. And it also gets in between those like tiny little pixels that are really close to each other. So if you like bucket tool this, there would be pixels all like bordering these little lines. But with this method, you cover all of those already. I'm gonna make her hair blue as well. I'm gonna fill in the little places where there's not a clear boundary between one thing and another. That's another thing, just like a general art thing. If you want to make something look softer, allow spaces in between it. So there's like, if you have like a puff ball, right? You can make it look softer by like omitting certain edges and lines to it. All right, so I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna select everything that borders her hair. Including her ear, little earring, this thing, this thing, this thing, this thing. A bunch of stuff. Select inverse and you can just color it in. I'm gonna make a pink layer. Feel free to do your own projects as well. I'm gonna make her shirt pink. So I didn't select the pants down there. Can you read it? Yeah, so when you select an area, like let's say I want to color this part of the shirt, you can color it in, right? But if you zoom in, it'll miss these tiny little pixels that are bordering lines that are inside your selection. So your selection went around all these lines that are like part of the shirt. And especially right here, like right there where there's like a hard, sharp crevice, you can see that there's like some pink underneath that is left over. Not this part, but like right here. And selecting everything around it and then inversing your selection basically prevents that. Well, yeah, so if I have line art that, like if I want the color to stop at a certain part that the line art doesn't define, usually I'd go in there with a brush the same color as my color and then draw it in. So like I draw like a line here connecting the brain's, not her brain, this line to the line of the hair clip so that when I do select inverse and color in, it will take that. I would draw through them. So like if I have like a weird shape that looks like this, I would just draw through it like that. Select the outside, inverse, and while coloring in, basically fills in all those gaps for you. And just as a general note, while you have like the magic wand tool selected, if you hold shift, you can select multiple stuff. And if you have little oopsie mistakes, because you know your magic wanding isn't going to be perfect all the time, you could fix those details manually. And if you click this checkerboard next to, not next to, when you have a layer selected, you'll be able to essentially lock that layer, and it does like a manual self mask. So if I lock it and then start coloring it in, it'll only affect the parts of the image that I've already drawn. And then I can unlock it and then draw the rest of it as normal. It's good for if you want some quick shading and you don't have a whole lot to lose. You know, if something is little, I won't get mad if you just paint bucket that in, tap a few times so that the edge, it gets to the edge, but I'm not going to tell on you. This is it basically. I'm gonna finish coloring and then do some shading and stuff.
Terry, I have a question.
Yeah.
What is your secret to clean line art?
Oh, I actually did a line art workshop, I think last year, but the gist of it, I feel like I sounded like an absolute madman, or like some sort of like avant-garde, like yoga, you know, kind of person. But like what I do is that my smoothing is usually around 10 to 15 when I line, and you have to have confident strokes, right? That's what I call it. And I feel like freshmen in the halls like giggle to each other and be like, remember when they said confident strokes? But like it's really what it is. So like a lot well, I mean, you don't do this obviously, but a lot of beginner artists like do that thing where like they're very scared of messing up and they want to do like this fuzzy kind of line. And like sometimes this line ends up like messing up with your anatomy or like making your drawing look shaky in general. You just have to do it. Like you have the smoothing / stabilizer up and you follow your sketch and you just like follow as closely as you can. And if you don't get it, just Control Z and do it again. And after a while, it's gonna feel much more natural and you'll get better at it. And also, what a lot of people tend to do is that like if you have like a sleeve here and you want to draw like an arm line, a lot of people would like bring the arm down and then slow down until they meet the other line. What you got to do is like bam and then bam. You can go way past it and then just erase it later. You have to be confident in your lines. Just like go for it. Don't hesitate. Like if you mess up, Control Z is right there. And you also have smoothing there with you. So you just kind of have to like, sometimes this is a stretch, but like I could sit here and redo this bang like 15 times before I like what it looks like. It's like a boon to digital art is that mistakes are temporary. You can always undo. I hope that answers your question. It doesn't make me sound like a.
It does. Thank you.
Just go for it, man.
Yeah.
You need to make the alpha lines.
Just make alpha
Beta
lines.
No beta lines here.
Oh my god. See, this is the kind of stuff I imagine like freshmen talk about me. Like they're just like, oh my god, what are they from Nike?
look at this guy.
Hey, baby Alex.
Hey, Alex, do be a freshman.
Little baby Alex.
How dare you?
Oh, someone asking for your socials.
Oh my goodness, my socials.
These handles.
How do I open chat from while I'm screen sharing?
It's at the top and there's like 3 dots on the far right side. And there should be like a drop down for chat.
Oh, I click on it, but nothing happens. Oh, wait, here it is.
Zoom is so whack.
True.
There we go. I'm on Twitter. I'm almost done with color blocking and we will move to shading very soon. This is a threat. Gotta get that flesh color. This girl's calf. Why'd you laugh?
I don't know.
Why'd you laugh?
I don't know. I'm just gonna mute myself.
No, Jake. No.
Oh no.
No.
Don't censor yourself.
Who else is gonna censor me if not myself? I don't.
That's what I felt like earlier. I should just be silenced.
I must silence myself. I fear my words.
Nah, man. Everybody's their own harshest critic, except for narcissists.
I love hearing myself talk. It's me. Wait, no.
Flesh-colored beads.
No.
For some reason,
Sorry.
those like candy bracelets came to mind when you said that.
Wait, what?
like those bracelets where the beads are made out of candy.
Oh, the candy bracelets. Oh god,
Ew,
no.
wait, why'd you say that?
I mean, just imagine it. It's like a bracelet of beef jerky.
No, stop.
I believe you need to mute yourself.
I guess like beef jerky is better than like raw meat, but like they're still bad.
I
They're both bad.
I don't like. I just like this imagery.
Okay, what meat thing is like that shit? Oh, a bracelet like of livers.
Meatballs.
Meatballs. Why livers?
They're for later.
Quick, easy
My
access.
emergency meatballs.
This is $1 billion idea.
My meatball bracelet.
Meatball bracelets.
Look down at your wrist. Check the time. Oh, it's meatball
Oh.
time.
Middle class, you hungry?
Your teacher's like, excuse me, are you biting your wrist? And they're like, no, I'm eating from my patent pending revolutionary meatball bracelet.
A meatball bracelet. What else?
Wait, that's actually so big brain. You connect the meatballs with like a spaghetti noodle.
Oh, true.
So it's more like a band. It's like a band of spaghetti, but like you can place meatballs into it.
Wait, like
Why stop
meatballs-
there?
Like meatball beads where they've got holes in them,
Bro.
and you can make your own custom
Made out
meatball
of
bracelet.
spaghetti and meatballs.
Guys, I think we have the next silly bands. We're gonna make so much money. Oh my gosh, the noodles are in the shapes of animals.
Oh gosh.
Could be like a heart or like.
Alright, guys, time to go to Shark Tank. We got this in the bag.
You ever just hungry?
Meatball
Joker.
How would you access that?
You're just looking down. You're just
It's not for
trying
you
to like dislocate your jaw,
people.
trying to eat it. No.
It's not for you to eat. It's to lure in other people.
Uh,
They're like,
A snack for your friends.
oh no.
Oh, is that blood on your face? No, it's just
Marinara.
meatball sauce, yeah.
It's just marinara.
Not on your...
Meatball sauce.
You ever just like want to
I
gnaw
put
on a
meatball
homie?
sauce on my
Like,
meatballs.
This is edible pajamas all over again.
oh, sorry,
Oh
what?
no, I don't want to think about that.
Edible pajamas?
Wait, were you not there? I thought you were there.
For what?
Taco Bell.
When? The last
After Dead
when?
Night one time.
I don't know if I was.
Like last year.
Dude, I don't know. Taco Bell, I haven't had that in years, dude.
Dude, they closed down Taco Bell.
Wait,
No.
Yeah,
it's
like
closed.
With
Like-
one on quad?
So one up quad, bro. Like,
No!
what are we gonna do? What are we gonna
No,
do?
no. How?
We can't
I don't
reunite
know.
them.
It's just closed. I don't know if it's just because of COVID or like permanently
Or maybe
closed.
Bro,
everybody just
Taco Bell
realized
took
that
out all
existing
potatoes
Taco
from their
Bell
menu.
is-
I'm gonna.
What? No more potato?
Wait, really?
That's actually.
Bro.
Ah,
No.
How could they
They're on
do that?
potato strike.
Wow.
honestly.
Potatoes are fighting back.
I don't know why it's not letting me add a new layer right here.
Wait, that's so
Yeah, it's
weird.
weird.
Okay.
You've reached the limit.
Me?
Oh,
No more colors
wait, right click. doesn't
allowed.
work?
You gotta pay to
I'll
unlock
try.
more layers.
No, it's not.
Well, if you. Oh. Huh.
It's copy and pasting layers and erasing what they had before.
Smart.
Also, I approve of that layer name.
Neat.
Uh,
I actually messed up, and some of her flesh tone is on with yellow, but you know, I gotta practice what I preach.
No, you don't. Being a hypocrite is easy.
It's so much easier. Or be one of those parents who says like, "Do as I say, not as I do."
Oh my god, that saying's so dumb.
okay, give us a better one then.
Okay. If you're out at night past 12, make sure you have a spaghetti bracelet.
Make sure to always have a snack with you and your friends.
Good thing I have my spaghetti bracelet.
Terry, you don't sound very enthused about your state of your spaghetti bracelet.
The only thing I'm upset about is my lack of more spaghetti bracelet.
Life goals: get job, make money, buy spaghetti bracelets.
Exactly.
Nice.
Repeat.
And then repeat.
How have you guys been?
I've been working on a project for like the past 2 days, and I'm really tired of just looking at the same thing over and over again. But other than that, I was vibing to Shakira. I don't know.
Oh, true. That was a great couple hour long rant you had.
I did not rant. Did I really rant to Shakira for an hour? There's no way.
Wait, what?
Oh, I don't know if it was a whole hour, but you know, it was
Oh my god.
an entertaining
It
period.
was a chunk of time, I guess.
Oh my god.
You know, as long as it's for a time and it's entertaining, then what doesn't matter?
Yeah, it's
I had a good time listening to that. I don't
It
think I've
really
heard
was
like,
for a time.
I don't think I've heard conversation quite like that.
It was an amount of time.
Oh my god. Alright. Sometimes I just need to know when to stop.
No, Val. Sometimes you need to
You don't need to. You don't
not
need to.
care when you need to stop.
Simply don't listen to yourself.
It's just the whole day me ranting about Shakira. Oh my god.
You just keep going. You don't stop even against your better judgment. And
Of course, of course.
literally everybody else is saying you keep going.
Like,
As
please
you do.
stop.
Yeah, you gotta listen to the hive mind.
What conformity?
Listening to other people, insane.
Yeah,
A little bit weird, dude.
kind of weird. That's why for Halloween I should just do a regular costume.
For Well, then you should
No.
go as a CS agent.
I mean, I can't argue against that, Robert. And granted, if you did Diva, that means I'd have to do someone from League, and I'd rather not want to do that.
Wait, okay, so if that's what the stipulation is, then I will go ahead.
But I don't want to do that now.
Sacrifices.
I'm not willing to do that.
Aw.
So then
It's
you
your
weren't
right.
willing anyways, David.
David,
I mean, I'm willing to hand you money to do it.
Okay, that's fair. I'll take that.
I want to see you dress
Alright.
as Twisted Fate.
I mean,
Cowboy David.
Ooh, Cowboy
Oh,
David.
Cowboy David?
also he's a pirate, so
Ooh, I mean, he has like a cowboy skin, right?
he does, but that's high noon, and every single person there is a freaking pirate. I mean, not pirate, cowboy.
Cowboy.
Words
Cowboy
hard.
pirate.
I mean, they kind of went from like high noon just being like this whole like, oh, they're like cool cowboy characters, revolvers or guns and stuff, and revolvers for everything now. And then they changed it to like, you know, what if they're demons?
He looks cool.
That's cool.
Edgy. Good. Edgy.
But I mean, like honestly, they look pretty good. Like
Then go
high
last
noon
one.
motion.
Yeah, go for it.
I mean, what if we just made people do like the KDA skin lineup?
If I had Sneaky's midriff, I would. Right?
Whoa, okay, alright.
And that's
But I don't.
recorded.
This is on Twitch.
And that's on record.
No, I should have muted
Hey,
myself.
Jake, you want to start working out with me? Let's get to
I gotta get that midriff,
Let's
bro.
fucking get there. Oh my god.
Oh god.
I'm
oh
scared.
god.
It's happening.
Wow. Jake really just said that on
Hey,
screen.
I need to stop talking. That's the only solution. Let me speak.
Wouldn't have been true to his heart, you know? He spoke from the heart.
Uh-huh.
From the hearts.
Uh,
Mid-drift. Hey, do you guys think your classes are harder online than in person?
Yes.
Yeah.
How come?
Some of them, yeah.
To pay attention to.
Yeah,
Paying attention, biggest factor. Other part is, I don't know, kind of just getting in the mood to learn. This is the same place I play my video games. Am I supposed to focus? Video gamer. So still haven't made my. I have no ideas. I'm kind of burnt, honestly. I can't finish any drawings.
Burnt?
Burnt.
That sounds easy to get that picked out.
Yeah, wear oven mitts.
No.
You
Oven
like
mitts while you
Robert.
draw.
Terry, can you just like go over a bit of what you're doing with the hue changing?
So what I'm doing is that I'm going over each of my color layers and adding a layer on top of it, and then right clicking and making it a clipping mask. I already did this one as a clipping mask, so it's telling me I can undo it, but yours should say make it a clipping mask. And if your layer is one color, which it should be, I should follow my own advice. But what I would do is choose the hue that it would shift to. And most of the time, the hue that you're shifting to is like I did with the pants. I started with the base pants layer, and I shifted it to southeast. So a lot of people, what they do is that they go like from the base, like straight down. And like, I mean, you could do that if you want. It tends to give it a sort of like muddy look. So I would go to like southeast, and for like, a little bit of an extra kick, move the hue a little bit closer to the closest primary color. So in this case, it would be blue instead of cyan. And I took this soft round brush, turned down the opacity, and just made it basically shift a little bit throughout the whole thing, generally going towards the area of shadows. So like if you're wearing pants, you got a shirt above you, so right above the pants is probably where shadows would start. And so I'm doing that with each layer.
Think again.
Will. You want them a little subtle, not too in your face. Generally in places where there'd be shadows or lots of blood.
It's because we're watching. Oh, sorry, hold on. We're watching Carrie's art workshop. You could tag Ali, but he's like on the Zoom call.
And when I'm done with that, do a little bit to the background as well. Done with that, I merge these clipping masks down so that the clipping mask layer and their base layer is on the same layer. And after that, I add another clipping layer on the one I just merged. And this one will generally be a multiply layer since you got like all these crazy hue shifts. You want everything to be relatively uniform. And my shading color on multiply is at first a hard brush in either light red or light blue. So this is what light blue looks like on here. Oops, opacity. What light blue looks like on here, and here's what light red looks like on here, depending on the kind of mood you want. I'm going to choose blue.
Someone's asking about how to keep the direction consistent for like the light source and shadows, I guess.
Yeah, okay. You're gonna want to keep in mind what is above your thing. Like what I see some people do is that they add a shadow to like along the edge, which is appropriate sometimes, but not always. So I'm trying to think of like a way to explain this, like instead of saying, oh, I don't know, just do what feels right. Things that are generally like lots of points of interest, right? So like right here, it's super busy. Right here, it's got like the bun bordering, it's got like the headband bordering, it's got the ear, it's got like this bang. So there's probably going to be shadow there, as is this bang on the left, because her head is right next to it and the bang is lower than the head. And so the head would cast shadow on the bang. Generally, I use a light source from like probably around here, casting downwards. What you're gonna want to do is break up your drawing into simple shapes, right? Don't think of it as one whole thing at first. So this bun right here is just a sphere. And if I had a sphere here with a light source coming from this corner, it would have a shadow along this side because it's in the opposite direction as the sun. And this piece right here would just be like a very weird rectangle. And the pieces of hair or other rectangles sticking out from it. I'm sorry I don't have more concrete tips, but it's always really good to look at examples, even if you have a very stylized drawing style, because you know, look, taking from real life is essentially where this is all coming from and making it funky. Sorry if that doesn't answer your question. Yeah, that's also a very good thing to do. Just like watch someone else work. And, you know, little plug, you can, a great place to watch someone else work is during dev nights in which EGaDS hosts.
Woo, yes, I love dev nights. I was
Woo,
I was
dev nights!
distracted.
Yeah.
He's asleep and you shake him, he'll be like, oh, dev
Dev
nights.
Nights is the best part. Call me Dev Nights.
Me every time I wake up, that's what happens. Yeah, we just hang out. We try to everyone. I mean, that's what it is, right? You just kind of hang out. Anyone who's making something, they share their stream and show what they're doing. It's fun stuff. It's just like this, but on Thursday from 7 to 9.
Everyone gets to show what they're doing.
Yeah, everyone, not just the person teaching, but they.
Watch me draw.
Show me your drawing. Yes.
But only some.
Yeah.
Oh?
Maybe, if you ask.
Wait. What would that entail? Oh? Spicy developing.
Ooh.
Wait, does Lay's only have 17 other flavors?
They
Okay.
gotta have like way
I
more.
think they got more.
Lay's flavor.
Like if they've got a
Flavors.
pickle flavor, I'm sure they have all sorts of flavors.
Bro, I had salted egg lays.
That's
Oh,
How were
that's
those?
good.
I remember you signing them, but
They were pretty good.
nice, nice. It actually tastes like egg.
Yeah, it tasted like salted egg.
Yeah.
Wait,
Maybe
is
if you
salted
salted
egg
your
like,
eggs more.
It's like an egg remix.
is it the same thing as cured egg yolk?
Probably, yeah.
Oh, cured egg yolk is so cool.
It is. I kind of want to try making some myself.
I did it once. Oh, in water?
Wait, I thought you leave it. All the videos I've watched, you leave them in like a blend of sugar and salt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
it's in a curing blend, not water.
They got you.
Yeah, Alex, get out of here.
Yeah.
Our workshop officer doesn't know anything. I see.
I want to watch a cooking workshop.
Honestly, yeah.
Why
True.
not?
It'd be so much
Yeah,
fun.
show us how to make curry, Alex.
Oh, curry.
Bro, I've been craving curry ever since you mentioned it.
Alex, you didn't give any curry to Terry?
Wow, I can't believe that.
Yeah.
Wow. I can do curry.
A curry workshop.
The entire
It's
thing for
just-
Karina spans the time it takes to make sourdough,
Oh no.
including making the starter. So she makes the starter. She's like, "Okay, see you guys."
If we're doing
Leaves
this
the
from
video
the very
on the
start of
sourdough
sourdough,
starter.
then it'd be like a several
multi-week
weeks
stream.
workshop.
Yeah, it has lo-fi in the background.
Hmm.
Why does everything have to be a waifu?
Lo-fi beats to bake bread,
Bread
too.
too.
Yes, yes.
Lo-fi beats to raise yeast to as well.
Whoa.
It is a lifestyle. Respect the bread.
Respect the bread.
The bread, you don't make the bread. The bread makes you.
I don't know how true that is.
Yeah, what does that mean?
You judge a man by how well he bakes his bread.
You don't want a breadwinner, you want a bread maker.
True. I'd rather make a dessert thing than a steak, though.
Oh, dessert.
Some bananas foster, some brownies.
Oh, wait, bananas foster is fun to do. You
Oh yeah, you got that little.
Got that flame going.
Yeah,
Oh,
true.
yeah.
He's like, what?
I don't know what that
Sounds
is,
so
but it
good.
sounds delicious.
It sounds so good. Give me.
If you like sweet and sour pork, it's trash. This is better.
If you like it, you're dumb for liking it. Eat this instead.
We see. It's on record.
Wow, okay.
I won't judge you for not liking it, but I'll judge you for liking it. Understandable. I see.
He's not kidding.
He was lying on that last sentence.
Yeah, I don't.
An
How can you be an
untruth there.
officer with no integrity like that? I can't.
Okay, so I have like the hard shadows done. So what I did is that I locked each of the clip layers. And now I'm going to add a little shift to each of the shadows as well. So like, again, now that they're locked, you can't affect anything that's outside. So I have like again, a very soft brush, a slightly darker, more southeast version of the shadow. And I'm just like putting little, I don't know, these little shift thingies on places where shadows would be more concentrated. Yeah, he draws.
He draws.
Yeah. Some cool stuff.
You haven't seen his Inktober posts? I see.
Okay. Now that everything's been, you know, funkied up a little, next I'm gonna unlock all these layers and take away where appropriate. So I'm gonna go to the eraser and give it the soft brush and bring down opacity to like 50 or 60. And so as the shadow goes down the pants are very soft. They are not hard at all. So the shadow would eventually fade out. That's not shadow. Here's eraser. And I'd add a little blur there, but not at the very start of where the shadow began, because that's very close to where one pant leg meets another pant leg. So the shadow would be like hard there. Oh, bye, Karina. Karina.
Yes.
Nope.
Nope.
I want to get to Galaxy. I start 64 and then 80s. So Mario's on break for right now.
Hmm.
Play Hades, yeah.
Yeah. How you liking it?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like finally getting some, just like working on getting more clear runs, I guess.
Gotta grind. But like, grinding is fun. Failing is fun because you get to have story.
Unless you're at the very end and then you fail. It's like, oh, true. Yeah, definitely do like affinity farming. So
Hi,
Terry,
baby.
Terry, how do you kind of determine where to put the shinies?
So at least for hair, shinies tend to be in the middle of a hair chunk. So like this bun would be a hair chunk, this bang would be a hair chunk, this back here would be one, and this one would be one. They tend to collect in the center of these and also on the edges. And also on hard surfaces like nails. I like making all the nails shiny. And if you want to be super anime, they go on cheeks. They can also go on eyes if you would like. They make it more anime if you put it on the eyes though. Depends on your anime factor. The very scientific aspect of an artist. Precisely.
Quantifiable measurement.
And on other surfaces that aren't here, they tend to be on places that are the opposite of shadows. So this crease right here, if a shadow is on the right, then light's gonna hit the other side. And also on like wide, mostly like not very interesting areas, like this pant leg, there's not much happening there, so light would naturally be drawn to it. Also, if you want to give her silky smooth thighs.
Oh dear.
Sure, yeah. I'll put it in the art workshops folder or channel. Yeah.
I like the EGaDS YouTube plug.
No. I'd say she's done for now.
Yay.
Yay.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah, they're going on up on YouTube.
Thank you, Thierry.
Thank you,
You're
Terry.
welcome.
Alright.
Bye.
Hi guys.
See
Thanks
ya.
for coming.
Ah.
Woo.
We back.
Everyone's back. Okay.
What's up, gamers?
Every string you allocate a card and max and go from there.
Take this opportunity now that we're all back to go leave and eat food.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Yeah, I was hungry for half the workshop, but I needed to stay in.
Right.